Welcome. You are here because you have ADHD, and you are here because you want to have freedom in your life, you want to have meaning in your life, and most of all, you want to have stability. I'm pretty sure because all of my clients, they all ask me to help them with finding stability. And what they don't want, and I think you neither do, they don't want to fight in their life. They don't want to be stressed. They don't want to be exhausted. They don't want to have a lot of conflicts. But the reality is that they have a lot of conflicts. They have a lot of stress. They have a lot of traumas because of all those conflicts. So I'm here to help you out. I'm here to help you to see what could be a solution. I work with people who have ADHD. All of my clients, they have ADHD. Some of them are not diagnosed yet, but they are going in to be diagnosed. So I really know what it is to have ADHD. Also because I have ADHD myself. So I have walked the path for you, and now I will invite you to walk with me. Just follow me. Most of those people I have in my clinic, they have their job situation is that they are leaders. They do some leadership. It could be on a traditional job where they are leaders, but it could also be as class teachers, class management. It could be a scout management. It could be everywhere. And many of them, they are self-employed as well. So I have a lot of different clients around here, around me. So, well, I think not all that small talk yet. I think it could be very interesting for you to see how I work, and how it could help you to understand your ADHD. But first of all, let me tell you, I'm not here to explain anything about how you can do your marketing if you're self-employed. That's not the business I'm doing with you. I'm diving into your mindset if we're going to work together. So it's not about marketing. It's not about how to sell yourself, not at all, but how to be yourself, how to find your stability in your life. And I have, during the last 30 years, I've been working with ADHD because I was a teacher, and then now I'm self-employed. Now I am a coach, help people with ADHD to feel free, to have that stability, a sustainable stability in life. And I really know that people are longing after that stability. And they say to me in different ways, really different ways. Some of my clients, they're very angry with their parents, with their partners, with their wife, husband, with anybody. They're very angry with people, and some of them, they put a lot of shame on their shoulders. There is a lot of stuff that they want to solve. There is a lot of troubles they have. Some of them have a lot of traumas as well. So I can help you with traumas. So, but let us dive into what I see as here. I have that focus star here. And for me, focus is an acronym for, and it stands for foundational dynamics. So what dynamics do you see in your relationships? So we can have a lot of different dynamics, and some of those dynamics, they give a lot of conflicts. Some of them triggers something in you, in me, and everyone. Everything triggers something. So here we look to your relationship. What is the foundational dynamics here? It's very interesting to go in and see here what is the dynamics here in those situations. Very, very interesting. The next level here is observations. What you can see with your eyes, what you can hear, what you can smell. So it's very interesting here because we all have some, we have some dynamics, and those we can see here in the observation, and it's what we can see, that's facts, cool facts, nothing about analyze what is going on here, just what we see, very objective, nothing subjective at that level here. The next level we have here, calibration, is that if we should be a better leader, a better self-employed, a better human, we need to go in to dive deep into to calibrate what is inside me. What is it? What kind of feelings do I have? And the reason why. So the reason why behind those feelings, and the reason why behind our activity, our actions, about what we are doing because of what we are feeling. Because sometimes we react very angry, very disappointed. So what is the reaction? We can see that here over in the observations. But the calibration was, we work inside. Why do we do that? So that's very interesting, because if we had a trauma, there will always be a reaction to that trauma because of that trauma. But many times, most of the times, we can't say it's the traumas. We can't blame the trauma, but we can say, well, I did so because it helped me. And honestly, I think 98% of my clients, they put themselves into a role of victim. And being in that victim role, it is to blame yourself and to tell everybody, I can't. And you tell yourself, you can't. So when you are here in that role to be a victim, when you're a victim, you don't take responsibility for yourself. I'm sorry to say it that directly, but that's the way I am. If you do play the victim, you don't take responsibility for yourself. So I want to give you a hand and to lead you out of that. And I do it carefully. I do it so that you are calibrated with a lot of questions about, why do you do that? What do you think it should protect you from? And what else it could be? Today, one of my clients, she said, I'm a person that can't focus. And I said to her, well, that's not true. But when you tell yourself that you can't focus, then it will be your truth. So instead, you could say to yourself, because I know that we have been sitting here for 45 minutes right now, and you have been so focused. So you're lying to yourself. But what you could say is, I can focus, I can concentrate for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. That is the way you can throw yourself out of the corner of victimness. So what you could do, so it's a little transformation, but it helps you so much. So, and here in the calibration, we also find out what is the reason why. We find out what is the reason why, but there is always a step before the conflict. If you put a stairs into your mind and the conflict is up here, then you can always, just before that conflict, there is another level. There is another level where you have peace. And what could you do here before the conflict so that you're not going into that conflict? But you have to think about what is it the conflict is all about. And that follow up here to useful systems. In useful systems, we find out systems that works for you. And systems that works for you, I don't know if it works for me or for your neighbor. My thought is that it should work for you. So it could be doing some appointments about how to use the bathroom in the morning if that's a conflict area. And make a time schedule if that could help you. But it's not sure. It's not sure that could help you, but it could help your neighbor. So here we think in what kind of systems would work for you. One of my clients, he is very angry, he's very stressed about everything. And I asked him, what could help you to have less stress? Because I can hear the stress situation is doing so that you're going to be angry. So what could help you to be less stressed? And I was, in my mind, it could be very good with a calendar. It could be very good with a food prepping. It could be very good with some systems for everything. It was what was in top of mind for me, because it could help me. But the interesting thing he told me that it was that he has an interest, he has a hobby, and that hobby, it uses a lot of time. And well, he loves cars, and he has 8 different cars, and he was just exhausted of having those cars in his garage. So it was just, so what would you now do with those cars? Well, I will sell most of them, but one of them I will have because it's my child number 3 or 4, whatever it is, because that was his main hobby, and that car, it could give him what he needs. But the rest, the 7 other cars, they could not do that. So by finding out what would be possible to have a system for you, and it could be a system to sell those cars. He was just so relaxed when he found out if that could be a solution for him to live a more stressless life. And he was here, he has sold 4 of those cars, and from now he has just changed something in his life that is not going to stress him that much, so he's not that angry. So it could be very important for you to find out what is it that stress you out, what is it that make you so exhausted. And I am not the one to tell you to do this and that, because that client, his neighbor, he would maybe think that it was his freedom, it was his meaning of life to have all those cars. So it would kill him if he should sell his cars. So people are so different. That client, it would not be the problem with the food prepping, and that was not what was stressing him out. So the solution that is true for me is not the solution will be true for you. So to the next step here in the star and the focus star, sustainable stability, sustainable calmness, sustainable freedom, because stability makes freedom, it makes meaning of life, and it makes it possible to fold out your life, to fold out what you need to, what you want to have in your life. And what we are longing for, it could be no stress, it could be more calm days. But what is a calm day? Because you can be busy. Many people with ADHD, many leaders, many managers, many self-employed people, they have a lot of to-dos on their list, and they really find it joyful and they feel happy. But if it takes out the stability, if it takes out the feeling of freedom, the meaning, what you can put your shoulders down and breathe, if it takes out so you don't feel that, it's not sustainable any longer. So what is it that I could help you with? Well, I can help you to translate the situations where the conflicts, all kind of conflicts, they are on fire, where they begin to burn. And I can help you to do the analyze and to ask you what is going on here, since that is important, since what is going on here? What could you do so your ground, so your fundament could be another, so that you're not going to have those barriers so you're not going to have those fights, so you're not going to, whatever it could be. One of my clients, she has a shop, and there is always in a shop a lot of people who will sell everything to you. It could be furnitures for the shop, it could be it's clothes shop, so for ladies, and there is always a lot of, well, if you have those dresses, you should also have those bags and those hats and those sunglasses and everything. And she's just, people, they manipulate her. And it was so easy for her to say yes. And that was not sustainable for her. Not at all. Not financial, not in her environment, because if you have a clothes shop, you don't need to have sunglasses, you don't need to have shoes, you don't need to have, there's a lot of, so she was very stressed out because of that, and it was not stability at all. But she was manipulated, she was gaslighted, and she was a pleaser. So she was not able to put down her boundaries and say, no thank you, I don't want you to be here, come here in my shop. And the reason behind that was, it was because she needed to be calibrated here, at that level here. She needed to find out of her story what was inside her, since it was important for her to say yes instead of no when she thought no. And from that day, when she found out what was it in her that was the reason why she should say yes to everything, she developed her own systems to do a plan, to have a strategical, what can I do and what not, what may I do and what not, what kind of expenses can I have in my shop and what not, what kind of furniture, so she has a lot of systems. In her basement there is all the clothes to next season, from the spring, all the next year. And she has to tidy it up. She has to do some cluttering. And she was exhausted by the thought about, and then she was just, okay, I'm just sitting here on my couch. I can't do anything. And we did some calibration here to find out what is the reason why behind that you cannot raise yourself up and go down to do that decluttering. And she found out what she also found out, it was that she could have a system where it should not be all the basement that she should decluttering, but she could do some decluttering some days instead of all, but just some small pieces. She has, because of all those people who want to sell her everything and nothing, and it's really nothing they want to sell her, that she has made a system in herself how to say no thank you. It's a useful system. And what she tells me is that it is sustainable stability, because she can fall back to feel the calm and to be here, to stay here, instead of running after herself. And I think sustainability is not to sit down, stability is not just only to sit down in a spa drinking a glass of wine or in your couch. That's not that kind of calmness we are longing for. We're longing for the stability that gives us freedom, that gives us happiness, that gives us proud, respect. So that's what we are longing for here, and that's what I'm meaning here in the sustainability, stability. So that's what I want to help you to find. So how can you get my help? I have put a link here in this video, below the video. First of all, subscribe so that you will see much more videos here. But I've also put a link here about, so that you can find me and get my newsletters, so that you can follow me. And I will tell you a lot more about stability. I will tell you a lot more about hypervigilance, because hypervigilance is also a part of our life. We are scanning all around and, oh, maybe I should go over there, maybe I should go over there, because our brain are not able to stop ourselves. So I can help you so. And if you want, I have a group where you are able to come with me, and you're so welcome to follow me. But take the link here below so you can come into my into my newsletter, so that you can follow me, and so you can come to my course in that way, because I think it's very important for you to know me very well before you start with me. But if you can feel that this here could be a very good thing for you, I have made more than 300k USD on this system, only on this system, on this method. So I know it works. I really know it works. So you're so welcome to follow up here and see if it should be something for you. I will put the link to my calendar so that you can have a chat with me, so we can have a call together. So if this could be for you, you're so welcome. Thank you for watching this time, and see you. Bye.